am tired and out of shape and wearing jeans for the first time since I started quarantining, which was in March, and it is now May. And I hate this life. Why did anyone ever wear jeans? They're impractical. Okay. Hey everybody, it's Jayla, and today we are going to be talking about the books that are coming out in May and June that I really want to read. So I have quite a few books on this list today. Most of them are coming out in May, and then like 3 of them are coming out in June, so about 8 books total. I'm adding some very promising books to my TBR, so we're gonna get into which ones I really want to read. First is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is the 3rd book that Elizabeth Acevedo has written, and it is also in verse like her other 2 books. It's a contemporary story about these 2 girls, these teenage girls who live in different parts of the world. One lives in the Dominican Republic and the other lives in New York, and they are brought together when they realize that their father, who they did not know that they shared, dies in a plane crash. And so they realize that they have the sister who they never knew existed, and they build a relationship through that. I don't know much more than that about this story, but it was very exciting, and this cover, I showed it off in my reading blog, but other than the stunningness that is this, we also have that, and we have that, and it's just such a beautiful book. I have yet to read any of Elizabeth Acevedo's books, but I own all 3 of them, so I really need to get on that. I was planning to do a readathon, vlog for that, but Asian Readathon started going on, and I decided I wanted to do that, so I just decided not to do all of that at once. But definitely very soon I will be doing kind of a marathon of all of Elizabeth Acevedo's books so that I can just see if I like her, and I hope I like her because I have all her books. But yeah, she has all these amazing covers that make them auto buys for me, and obviously it's stories about Afro-Latina women, which, while I'm not Afro-Latina, I am African-American, and it's just good to see that kind of representation. Just be exploring something that I'm not totally familiar with. This book came out on May 5th, so obviously I already have it, so it's already out. The next book that I want to read that also came out on May 5th is called Meet Cute Club by Jack Harbin. So this book follows a guy named Jordan Collins who works at his local bookstore, and he also hosts his own kind of romance book club, which sounds really cute. But Jordan is facing a problem where he feels like people aren't really showing up for his book club anymore. He feels like it's kind of irrelevant, and he just needs to find a way to spice it up. He also works with a coworker who makes fun of him a lot for what he chooses to read, saying it's meant for grandmas. But one day that same coworker shows up at his book club, and since it's kind of dying, he doesn't want to turn anybody away. And so it clearly seems like this is leading into some sort of hate to love kind of thing between Jordan and his coworker, and I'm very excited because 1, it's a gay romance, yay, and 2, hate to love, it's a great trope, and if you can do it well, mwah. So this book did come out on May 5th, like I said, and the problem I'm seeming to find with this is that it's only out on Kindle. If it was an ebook, not my preferred choice to read ebooks because I personally just don't really like them very much. However, I would be willing to because this book sounds adorable, but I think it's only on Kindle, and I don't have a Kindle, so I don't know how to proceed with that. I'm assuming I can just purchase it and then read it on Amazon or something, but that means I'd be reading on my computer, and I don't really love that idea. So if I can figure that out, if it becomes more widespread, I'm definitely going to be purchasing it very soon. However, it's going to be kind of an obstacle to read it, but I really want to get to this one. So the next book that comes out in May is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I was really having a hard time saying songbirds, so I had to really enunciate it. And that is by Suzanne Collins. I think we all know what this book is. I think we all probably have this book on our TBRs and our instant buy list. I'm a little on the fence just because it's about President Snow. If you don't know what it is, I guess I can explain. It is a prequel to the Hunger Games series and kind of follows one of the characters, President Snow, when he was younger and when there was the 10th Games, I believe, which personally, I'm curious about the choice to do the 10th Games because, we want to know about the revolution. We want to know about the dark days, but it's not my world. It is Suzanne Collins, and I will read anything that she writes because she's amazing, and I love the Hunger Games, and I'm a diehard fan. So while I don't really want to follow President Snow around and be inside of his sick, twisted head, whatever. I'll do it. I'll suffer for what I love. So yeah, I don't feel like I really need to explain much about this one. This one comes out May 19th. I'm definitely going to be reporting to you guys about how I feel about it. I might even do like a 24-hour readathon, see if I can read it all in one night, but I'm so excited for this book. I cannot wait. Next, also coming out on May 19th, is a book called We Are Not From Here, and that is by Ginny Torres Sanchez. This book is following a very hot topic in the US right now, and it follows these three teenagers who are trying to, I think they're escaping from Guatemala and trying to cross over into the United States. And it follows them as they are using this rail line that's known to be very dangerous. I believe it was called the Beast in the synopsis. And so they follow this rail line called the Beast that's known to be very dangerous, and kind of like a lot of people die when they try and make that passage. And it's just very interesting because obviously it's a very serious issue that's going on right now. Not just immigration, I mean just like having to be uprooted from your homeland because of whatever's going on there. So I'm very curious to see how this topic is handled in this book and what I can learn from it and from these experiences that are being written about. I really hope that this is a powerful story that can change a lot of hearts and minds and gets the due credit it deserves. I haven't really heard people talking about it, so here, go read it. Maybe we'll learn something together. I'm sorry if you can hear my mom yelling because my entire family is having a Zoom meeting, like everyone, like imagine a family reunion, but like on Zoom. And my mom doesn't understand that you don't have to yell to be heard, but she does that with everything, like phone calls and conference calls and stuff, so it's a lost cause. So the last book that I have for May releases that I really want to read is called The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. This book comes out May 26th. For this one, I'm just going to read the synopsis because it's very, very short and gets right to the point. A boy comes to terms with his identity as a mixed-race gay teen. Then at university, he finds his wings as a drag artist, the Black Flamingo. A bold story about the power of embracing your uniqueness. Sometimes we need to take charge, to stand up wearing pink feathers, to show ourselves to the world in bold color. So this one sounds really interesting to me because there's lots of different kinds of representation within it, and it's in a university setting, which I really am drawn to because I want more of those older characters now as I'm getting older. I think this is going to be a really fun and reflective coming-of-age story, and I'm really excited about it. So now we move on to the books that are coming out in June that I'm really interested in reading. The first book that I really want to read that's coming out in June is called A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, and this is by Roseanne A. Brown. I don't know much about this book. I tried not to read the synopsis because it's honestly, the cover is so beautiful that it was kind of like an instant I want to have this kind of thing, so I didn't really read too much about the synopsis, but I do know that it is a fantasy story and it is based in West African folklore, which honestly, cool, sign me up. So that and the cover just make me really want to buy this one. The next book I really want to read that's coming out in June is called The State of Us, and that is by Sean David Hutchinson, who is becoming one of my favorite authors because he is just such a great writer. I've only read 2 of his books so far, which were The Edge of the Universe and We Are the Ants, but so far I've just been really impressed with the storytelling that he does. He just has such an interesting writing style, very kind of cynical, but at the same time, like, you really like the characters. So this is actually a very different thing from what I'm usually seeing from Sean David Hutchinson. So this book is about 2 boys, and it's very interesting because both of their parents, is that confusing? Each boy has a parent who is running in the presidential race for the United States. And so one is on the Democratic side and the other is the Republican nominee. And they end up feeling some sort of attraction to each other. The boys, not the parents. So I have a feeling that this book is going to be so good. It's going to have some amazing conversations about like bipartisanship and kind of like when your beliefs are just so different and yet like somehow you have to make it work. Like, I'm so excited to read this. I love Sean David Hutchinson's writing. I'm so excited to see how he manages to have these conversations. Also, I recently read Red, White, and Royal Blue, and that book is really cute, and if you don't know, that one's about the president's son and the Queen of England's grandson kind of like meeting and like finding themselves attracted to each other as well. So another one of those like political, diplomatic romances. Very excited to get into this one. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be funny, but also just tackle some topics, and I'm so excited for it. And The State of Us also comes out on June 2nd. My foot is asleep. I hate this. I hate this. I wish I hadn't done this today. But anyway, the last book that I have to share with you today is called Mexican Gothic, and it is by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This book, it comes out on June 30th, and that's so far from now, which is really disappointing because I'm very excited to read this one. This book takes place in 1950s Mexico, and I know that it involves a girl who moves into a haunted mansion, I believe. I don't know anything else about it. I hope that's appealing to you. If not, I'm sorry if you came here to learn anything, but honestly, that's all I really needed to know. The cover is beautiful, and I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna love it, and I'm so excited to read it. I don't know what else to say about it, but I feel like I don't read often books that are set in Latin America, so I'm glad that I finally am starting to see some that are really interesting me, and it's gonna be spooky, I hope. I did hear someone say that it was really scary. I hope that that's true, because some people say things are scary and then they're not actually that scary, but I'm really hoping that I get a good kick out of this one. I wish it was kind of coming out near Halloween, but I'm already having to wait till the end of June for this, so maybe I don't really wish for that. I don't know. So those are all the releases I have to share that I'm excited about that are coming out in May and June. So let me know what releases you guys are excited about in the comments that are coming out in the next few months. I would love to add some more books to my TBR. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a really great day. Bye!